Well, hello everybody and welcome back. Today I'm looking at just starting a repair on a Spy Hunter board set. Now this one came in. I know really nothing about it. I have just taken it off of the metal plates and put it here. And the very first thing, I didn't even turn that thing on to see what it was doing. The very first thing that I am doing is I'm dumping all of the programmable chips on that board, including I'm going to try to dump the PALs. But the reason that I do that is because I don't want to waste not 1 minute of my time if programmable chips are bad. I want to know that right off the get-go. It's usually the first thing that I do is check software. If I know that the software is good and say I put the fluke on it and it's giving me funky readings on an EEPROM, then I know that it's the board. It's not the chip, it's the board. So I like to eliminate those variables. I'm all about eliminating variables and when it comes to this kind of stuff, because you can get overwhelmed by variables. So it's important to go ahead and do what you can. And this is the first thing I do most of the time is I dump the software. Make sure that we're starting with a good set of software, and I will go through all of the socketed RAMs. I'll pull all the socketed RAMs and I'll test those in my Inquisitor to make sure that our programmable ROM and our RAM is good. That is the best place to start with these things. And then another thing with MCR especially is these interconnects are always cracked. They always have cracked solder joints if they've never been touched. And then once we get all of that stuff taken care of, I'm going to solder those connections before I even put this thing together and fire it up. I want those things good. And then I will eliminate another variable by not plugging it in with these. I'm going to use my known good connectors. That's a variable eliminated. And then we'll go from there. So I'm going to spend some time. I'm going to dump all of the software, and hopefully I've got one more MCR PAL to dump, and then I'll have the whole set of 5 successfully dumped. So I'm going to go ahead, do all of that, solder those connectors, the interconnects, do all that, and then when we come back in a flash, we'll be on the bench put together. Yeah, just kind of going through these. Let's create this one. This is va4.rom. I take these in and then I ROM ident them. But looking at this board, I think there is a mistake on this board. If I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, I'm going to have to look into this. These are all 93422 RAM in this board. But I don't think they're supposed to be. I think this is supposed to have 4 82S whatever they are RAM in this. There's like a 5 data bit RAM or something like that, I think. So I think this might have the wrong chips in it on half of these. I think there are 4 of these. I think it's these 4. And then I think it's supposed to be those 82S RAM. I think. We'll have to look into that. Before I put this together and do anything, I'm going to look into that because I think these RAM are incorrect. I think it's these 4 are incorrect. I think. I could be wrong, but I'm going to look into it. As you can see, these are all 93422 all the way across. Okay, interesting. That's something to keep in mind. I'm going to look into that. The Tale of Two Boards. These are both MCR video boards. This one is called a, if you can see through the plastic, where's the MCR Super Video Generator 91484G000. This one is MCR Video Generator PC. Totally different number. Different board. This one has the chips just like our other Spy Hunter, and this is a Spy Hunter board right here. It's got those 93 422 RAM on them. 8 of them. So that board is correct. That's good. This one has actually got a tag on it that says tested good. So that's a good board. This one has sprite issues. This is I don't know what this, Discs of Tron maybe. Yeah, I don't know what this come out of. I think it's Discs of Tron. Anyway, yeah. So it's two different boards. I was thinking of this board, but the Spy Hunter uses the Spy Hunter. That's perfectly good how it is. So I got all the software dump. I'm going to go verify it all against ROM ident and see where it's all at. All right, just got done with all of the RAM, and every RAM chip on the board is good. So we are starting, well, not yet. I'm going to go through and resolder all of the connectors, and then we'll be starting. And I'm going to go in and do ROM ident against all of the software that I dumped. Make sure it's all good. And then we know where we'll be starting. All the software is going to be good when we start. All the connections are going to be good. All the RAM is good. So those variables are eliminated. We don't have to worry about that. So it's a good place to start. So let me go ahead and put this up, go do ROM ident, check the software, and then I got to go through and solder all the connections and everything, and we'll be back. All right, I went ahead and did all of the soldering, and there were, as usual, a ton of cracked joints on all of these connectors. And I went through and had to clean up where the caps had been done. I actually think the 5-volt rail was shorted to the to the ground rail on one of these caps, possibly. I didn't beep it out to check for sure, but it was possible. They were kind of a mess. So I cleaned those up, and I need to scrub that one a little bit. Get a little bit of that flux off of there. There we go. That looks better. Yeah, resoldered everything, cleaned everything up. So we're ready to hook up now. Ready to hook up and give her a shot. Well, I just had it all hooked up and was getting ready to turn it on and everything. I was like, whoa, wait a second. These dudes need to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're going to replace 13 of these guys before, it's not shorted right now, but before they blow up, those things are gone. So I'm going to go ahead and replace those caps, those 12-volt filter caps, before because they will eventually blow up and short out. So I'm just going to go ahead, take a minute, and I'm going to replace them all right now, and then we'll hook it up and see what we got. Okay, I got this board all capped. Nicely capped. Hooked up. And I have turned it on, and it comes up to this. Just garbage. Garbage on the screen. First things first, I'm going to put in a new Z80. and see what that does. Let's do that. Okay, new CPU is in. So let's go ahead and fire it up. Hey, it seems to be working. Check that out. Hey, it's scrolling backwards. Watch this. It looks like you're going backwards. Oh, yeah, that's a problem. Huh. Interesting. Well, if you want to play in reverse, this is cool. Reverse Spy Hunter. Okay, well, weird. And I did try to reseat that. I tried to reseat this guy. It's just no good. So I red dotted it. Dead Z80. Okay. Well, now what? It is scrolling backwards. How strange. Huh. I would say that's probably this board. You know what? I've got that one board that tested good. How's about, is it time for a Swaparooski? I think it could be time for a Swaparooski. Put the Spy Hunter board that I have marked good, put that in here. I suspect that the scrolling issue is this board. Sprites are fine, which sprites generally are this board. Sprites and background are on this board, I believe. No, sprites are on this board as well. I know the background is this board. So is that the background that's not scrolling properly? Yeah, it is. That could be this board. Anyway, let's do a Swaparooski. Because I'm still learning the MCR hardware. The video generator board, and if anyone is more of an expert on MCR, chime in the comments. The motion board generates, or motion board, the video board, I'm pretty sure, generates sprites and sprite position. Sprite motion, sprite position, sprite generation type stuff. I know the background is up here. So this would have to scroll, the background scrolling would have to be in this section, wouldn't it? You know what? We're going to learn something right here when we do our Swaparooski. If we have the same problem, then I know that scrolling is up here. So yeah, this is good for learning. So let's go ahead and swap that good board in here and see what it does. Is it still going backwards? Let's do that. Okay, I got the tested good Spy Hunter board on, and what's it doing? Uh-oh, it ain't doing nothing. Oh boy. Yeah, boy. What is going on here? What did I not do right? Let's reset. Soundboard interface error, okay. No sprites. What's going on? No sprites, no movement. What is going on here? Soundboard interface error. Oh boy. Oh boy. We got problems. Huh. The plot thickens, doesn't it? All right, let me try reseating these and make sure I got them on right. I don't know. I'll be back. Yeah, this one is the one row is up from the pins. This one is down from the pins. So this one's in wrong. I have to. That's what that is what the problem was. So let me fix that and try it again. Well, I decided to go ahead and put customer's board back on because that thing will cause weirdness. If this isn't hooked up right, it doesn't know if it's in cocktail mode or upright mode. So I was thinking maybe that is why the scrolling was backwards. So I fixed that, put the customer's board back on, and it is working properly now. See how the sprites are flipped? The sprites are flipped around, so now it's correct. Yeah, looking good. The only thing that is left to do is, and I don't know what was up with that board I had marked good. It's probably bad connections or something. I don't know. I'm not concerned with that really, to be honest. So yeah, that makes perfect sense since this board wasn't properly hooked up. Part of the board was in upright mode and the other was in cocktail mode, or yeah, it was vice versa, flipped and flipped. So this thing's working good. And I did hear the sound amp pop, so I know that the sound amp is working, or the soundboard is working, or all the channels working. I don't know. I'll have to get the pin out to this up here and go through the channel tests and all that. So that will be next, and actually that will be tomorrow because it is. Yep, it's 9 o'clock. Getting late. So excellent. We'll wrap this one up tomorrow and move on to the next. See you tomorrow. Okay, so I'm in test mode, so I'll move, and it looks like the good thing is you don't have to use the steering wheel to move the cursor. Using the smoke and oil buttons and use weapons van to select. So I'm going to go ahead and do, let's go right to the sounds and then the channel test and player input. Those are really the three that we'll test. So go ahead and take me a second here to get this all, excuse me, prepped. Okay, I want to go to just down one, so what do I use? Oil and smoke and oil. Okay. 10 and 13. That went that way. And 2 more. There we go. And weapons van is 12. So And let's just go all sounds. Alright, sounds are all good. Now let's go to exit. And let's go to channel test. Very good. And then input test, player input. Uh-oh. One more up. All right. Okay. Five, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That's it, really. Coin. That's all the inputs. So we've got everything good to go. Take it out of test. And then reset. And that is a successful test. Spy Hunter. And if we coin this thing up, start. Oh, I hit something. Let's try that again. Coin. Start. There we go. And this is all this thing will do with no controls hooked up. Yeah. Over and over. I'm going to reset it. Okay. All right. So this thing, all of these headers needed to be reflowed, as always. And same on this board, all the headers reflowed. All three boards, actually, all of the headers have been resoldered. They were really cracked up. This one had a bad CPU, remember. I had to, I went and cleaned up all of these capacitors because they were all pretty jacked up. One of them on one of the boards, I forget which board it was, but it looked like the 5-volt rail was actually shorted to ground through this cap. Just kind of a blob on the bottom side of the board. I cleaned that all up. Yeah, it was just needed to be cleaned up. Yeah, I think one of them was actually shorted to ground. I think it might have been this board. I replaced all of the capacitors that blow up, so we're good on this board. No capacitors are going to be exploding and shorting out. Yeah, this thing has been running for 3 hours so far this morning, so this one is done. A lot of maintenance and a bad CPU. And recapping this board. That's what it consisted of. And that is it. Spy Hunter. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next Classic Arcade Repair. Bye for now. And actually, just a capper to the repair video is the boards on the metal plate with the provided connectors, connecting it. Yeah. And working good. And that is it. All right, now we will call it good and see you on the next Classic Arcade Repair. Bye for now.